Overnight, the US Federal Reserve showed it's taking no chances in its fight against inflation by raising its cash rate for the 11th time in 17 months. Now, this is despite the US inflation rate now being well below its cash rate. That's normally a signal that a central bank will ease back on the rate rises.
We'd be comfortable cutting rates when we're comfortable cutting rates, and that won't be this year, I don't think. It would be, many people wrote down rate cuts for next year. I think the median was several for next year, and that's just going to be a judgment that we have to make then, a full year from now, and it'll be about how confident we are that inflation is in fact coming down to our 2% goal.
And you can see here that unlike America, Australia's cash rate remains well below our monthly inflation rate, even if it has fallen back from its peaks in December last year. But Kerry Craig, global market strategist at JP Morgan, today told Ed that there's now a path to avoid recession in the United States.
It does seem that that very narrow path for a soft landing in the US is actually getting wider, that there's a bit more of a balance around the two-way risks in the economy. And again, this week from the Federal Reserve, what we didn't hear too many changes in what they were thinking. One thing they did note out is their own staff forecasts are no longer for a recession in the US. And we think the case of a recession versus a soft landing is much more finely balanced. And if anything, we can see reasons why the economy may skirt around a near-term recession. Eventually, the economic cycle comes to an end. You do get that recession coming through, but that is definitely going to be more of a debate for 2024 than 2023.
As you heard, the Fed said any talk of rate cuts is more likely next year, but the fight for now is against any renewal in these inflationary pressures.
Inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year. Nonetheless, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go.